Welcome to today's edition of InvestorIdeas.com Clean Tech and Climate Change podcast, looking at today's problems and solutions for the future. Today we're releasing a series of interviews with thought leaders in C-level management talking about the growth in the renewable energy sector, focusing on solar. This interview features Will Ralston, President and Director of SinglePoint, trading on the OTCQB SING, talking about developments with their subsidiary, Direct Solar. Thanks for joining us today, Will. For listeners that aren't familiar with SinglePoint, can you give us a brief history of your entry into the solar sector?
Thanks for having me on today. So SinglePoint recently, and I say recently as in May 15th, we acquired a company called Direct Solar. And Direct Solar handles brokerage, basically like a lending tree or Rocket Mortgage style of handling homeowners and getting them the solar quotes and bids and really the whole customer service experience all the way through to installation. So they will come out and evaluate the home and make sure that everything's good to go, provide some proposals from different contractors, and then basically match you with the best fit for your needs. So that was our entry into the solar and renewable energy space. And since then, we've been branching off into doing commercial projects as well as residential. So that's been our foray into the space.
And you just announced with Direct Solar that you have a partnership now with My Home Group, which is the number one fastest growing residential real estate brokerage in Arizona and apparently the second fastest in the country. So can you give us some insight into what that new partnership means to SinglePoint and how it came to be?
Yeah, so it's a huge opportunity for both companies. My Home Group is a phenomenal company. They've been on Inc. 500 the last 5 years in a row as fastest growing companies. They've got a great model to support their agents, and it's a wonderful relationship for us because the key for Direct Solar is continuing to work with homeowners that are looking for solar, and this is just a great new source for us to work with homeowners that are either purchasing a new home to them, or typically people build up a nice relationship with their real estate agent, and they may ask them, hey, who do you know for solar? And this partnership makes us that referral. So it gives us another good source of business, and then also vice versa, we're able to refer homeowners back to My Home Group as well. So it's a great two-way street for both companies to be collaborating. Now, we believe because of the number of transactions that My Home Group has closed over the last months and what we see, that it becomes an opportunity for us to basically, over the next 6 months or so, be able to start generating double the amount of sales that we're currently doing, which will be phenomenal because we've already been on a growth path that we didn't even expect to be so large. So it's very exciting.
And when you look at this partnership between real estate and solar, it seems to be a natural fit. So when you look at the industry, do you think this is going to be a new standard for real estate groups going forward? And you look at, for example, in December, California created a new requirement that calls for new homes or most new homes and multiple family residential buildings up to 3 stories to include solar rooftop panels beginning in 2020. So do you think this is going to be something that becomes nationwide? Do you think this is a whole new standard moving forward?
Yeah, I think that everybody is starting to really pay attention to renewable energies and solar and really just becoming more in tune with kind of what needs to happen environmentally and different things like that. So it's a natural fit for real estate and solar to come together because you're already working right there with the home. On top of that, it's a great value-added service or offering for agents to be able to refer people to quality providers, and that's what we'll be providing both to My Home Group as well as My Home Group to Direct Solar. It also is nice for those agents to be able to trust who they're working with and know and be trained in that. So we'll actually be training these agents and certifying them in knowing the questions and how to answer the proper questions for anything that the homeowner might have regarding solar.
And in closing, just going back to the growth story within Direct Solar, without getting specific, can you just give us some general, a general look at what that growth looks like in terms of contracts and what you're seeing, what you expected to see, what you are seeing, and how that growth has really taken off for you?
Yeah, well, we were hoping to be pretty much where we're at right now, which is about 4 closed contracts per day. We were hoping to be there at about the 9-month to 1 year range. And we've only now been doing this just over 90 days, and we're already there. Our goal was to be in 8 cities after the first year. We're actually in just over 11 cities already. So what's happened is people and companies have just been calling us saying, hey, we love this model, and we're looking for these solutions. So are you able to work with us? So we've really expanded the team. You know, we've brought on an additional 5 or 6 people just on the commercial side to handle commercial jobs, because that's pretty much an untapped market that we've been working to open up. And then on the residential side, we've got tons of agents out there in about 8 different states and 11 to, I think, 13 different cities now that are ramping up and starting to drive new business. So, you know, we were projecting we'd be somewhere around 2 to 3 closed contracts per day. We're already hitting 4 consistently, nearly 7 days a week, which is just amazing. And we're continuing to feed it and let it keep growing. And we hope to be able to go nationwide. And the beautiful thing about the model is the scalability. We can open up an entire new market in 2 weeks. So if we have a job that's coming in from a market that we're not in yet, it only takes us about a week or 2 to actually get in, find a contractor, get the financing set up, and go ahead and complete that job.
That sounds great. And just in closing, you've got such a great following of shareholders. We always enjoy the singers on social media. And so from your excitement level and seeing what's happening in the company, what would you just like to shout out to those shareholders that have been following you and believe in you all this time?
Well, we've really been working hard on, you know, making this a successful venture here at SinglePoint, and the acquisition of Direct Solar has really, it's a fundamental, you know, pillar for the business, and really has shaped and changed the trajectory of us, being that there's a huge amount of revenues. It's going to be a profitable business, and I really can't stress or explain enough how this is going to shape SinglePoint and allow us to grow and get to that next level. It's our, you know, we've been up to the plate a lot. We've taken a lot of swings at different projects, and here we've got one that we've acquired and is just taken off like a rocket.
Well, you can hear your enthusiasm on the phone, and it's always great to have a business that makes money but actually does good. So I think this is a win-win, and it's exciting to be part of it and to share this story with you.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate all our shareholders, and we are absolutely excited, especially with this new partnership with my home group. It's a phenomenal opportunity, and we just feel that there's no way it can't be successful for both parties. So we're very excited for that. We appreciate everybody that's listened to this, that's followed along with SinglePoint over the years, and we just want to say thanks and continue to follow us and watch as we grow and go sing.
There you go. Okay, well, we'll definitely follow up with you soon, because it seems like this is on a roll, and we'll want to hear what's next. To hear more podcasts, visit the podcast page at investorideas.com, www.investorideas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can also hear our podcasts on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, and Google Play Music. To help you follow and track clean tech stocks, Investor Ideas has created directories of publicly traded companies in the sector. Visit investorideas.com/membership to learn more. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on investorideas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded all investment involves risk and possible loss of investment. For disclosure purposes, SinglePoint is a paid news, PR, and social media client on investorideas.com.